I think our earliest films, and one of the ways in which the medium of moving pictures was to be used was to capture reality.
Cinema verite, or literally in French, true cinema, true film, speaks less about documentary in particular and more about a filming technique wherein the sort of technical aspects of mise-en-scène, editing, and shot composition suggest a lack of staging or a lack of artifice, as if these events were really happening.
Ethnography is primarily concerned with culture and representing culture, and there are lots of different ways that an ethnographer can do that. Well, first of all, there are a lot of ethnographic documentaries that people try to use, and that would primarily be documentaries that are mainly concerned with documenting a culture, and so those could be categorized as ethnographic documentaries.
Documentary gives more credibility to, or at least it's supposed to give more credibility to a topic.
The idea that one can objectively capture reality has been looked at as maybe something of an impossibility.
Probably a lot of the questions that go along with a researcher doing ethnography are also the same type of questions that a director of a documentary might come across as well. Questions of representing truth.
And what verite, again, it connotes truth value.
There's always got to be point of view.
What kind of representation of this culture are you giving?
You're supposed to be documenting the scene, capturing it as it is, and that is not always what happens.
So we live in this sort of surplus of visual information.
We find real people funnier sometimes than we do trained actors. What they say are more outrageous.
Chop pieces out so that you don't really see what's really going on. You see what they want you to see.
There's a lot of humanity in that particular moment, and that's what I remember.
But the fact of the matter is that there is still a mastermind behind it all, determining what the public is going to see and what they're not going to see.
I think that the fact that documentaries are seen as important movies in and of themselves, I think we're close to the time where documentaries might even be entered into the best film category, and what that's doing is it's opening up that particular genre.
So do you think documentary is creating, I guess, a voice for the underdog?
I think it is one way to get voices that aren't normally heard. The primary concern for newscasts is their sponsors. They have to pretend to be objective. It's like anybody who thinks the news is objective. I just don't understand the planet they're living on. American media is not set up to tell the nitty-gritty, dirty details of anything. It's minute-and-a-half soundbite, oh, here's the who, what, when, where. But you don't really get the why. The why is completely washed over, and as long as they present two sides of the story, who cares what the other 597 sides of the story are? All they have to do is show two.
The question is, there are certain documentaries which I think people might dismiss as being they're just too one-sided. That kind of relates to what is the difference between a documentary and actually TV news. They're all part of a similar mindset in some way.
Interest in true stories is part of what might get tagged as the sort of reality TV phenomena that emerged and developed through the 90s.
I think that the recent interest in documentaries sort of stems from the idea that documentaries have really helped make a change, help bring about change in perspectives. They also make judgments and bring to our attention certain problems or situations in the world and in American society.